if we're looking for a brand new Star Wars adventure, I think we have that with Star Wars Skeleton Crew's first episode. This could be a real adventure. Now, this is going to be my first spoiler review. If you want to avoid spoilers, please wait until you've watched the episode or go check out my spoiler-free review, link in the cards. Let's just get into it, what this episode is about. It's setting everything up. It's the episode that's showing us what the status quo of the world is, the world of Skeleton Crew. It's obviously in Star Wars, but it's not quite, because these kids are clearly living a pretty sheltered and boring life on their home planet. We have our four main characters. We have Wyn, Fern, KB, and Neel. So those are our four main characters, and each, I feel like, are going to fit into a different archetype. We have Wyn. He's definitely the character who's probably the most wanting to seek out an adventure. He's bored with his life, but so is also Fern, but she's bored in a different way, and she's also definitely rebelling against her mother, who's pretty high up in the education system, the undersecretary or whatever for the standardized test that's going on in this episode in the background, which Wyn never actually does take. Then we also have KB. She's clearly intended to be probably the smart one and the mechanic of the group, for lack of better, the tech one. She has a fancy thing, kind of like glasses, but not. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Jodie's visor from Star Trek, but combined with, the thing Lobot has around his head in Empire Strikes Back. And then we have Neel, who I'm thinking is going to be the more center of the group. He's clearly Wen's only friend, it feels like. Seems like they're both all kind of, they're not really part of a bigger friend group. Except for now, they're somehow all dissatisfied with their lot in life. Definitely this planet clearly is very much modeled off of suburbia, but notice something about that. They have roads now, but the cars are following like a track in a way. The trams are following a track. So, literally, suburban life is often sometimes described as confining, as, you fit in your lane and you go that, while rural and urban existences are more glamorous in one form or another, depending on, exactly which author we're talking about there for that interpretation and all that, but there's that kind of frame of a suburban prison in some way, where you're just following things in life, you're doing boring stuff. Like for the career assessment test, which is that standardized test, they ask the kids what they want to, be in preparation the day before, of course. Now, when that stuff is asked in our schools in real life, people say things like, I want to be a firefighter, I want to be an astronaut. And maybe some adults like, good luck, especially with the astronaut one, but we're generally encouraging of that, More and more likely somebody says a boring career that's vital but nobody wants to do because it's boring. That's more likely to get kids to look at other kids' view. But here, when Wyn says that he wants to help others, he doesn't want to be an analyst or anything like that, not only do the other students basically look at him like, why? The teacher, which is just a droid, says, oh, there's safety droids for that, dismissing him. That's very bad educational standards, by the way. Just very bad. No, don't do that in the school. That's how you bully kids and put them down as teachers. There's other ways too, but that's one way. That's supporting them, encouraging their growth. So you can kind of tell that this plan is designed to basically be planet suburbia. Show all the downsides of it, all the problems and boring existence. Now, Skeleton Crew has taken inspiration from a lot of Amblin Entertainment films. So Steven Spielberg's films, some of his films, of course, not all of his. Also the films, Kids Go on Adventure, 80s films like that. So there's a lot of that inspiration there, and the common theme is the kids are living a boring life and they want adventure, and that's what we're getting in this episode. We're getting introduced to these kids, so we know they want adventure. Even now, who I think is the most content with his lot of life, still goes along, and you can tell he probably still wants adventure in some form. And also, too, Neel also clearly is coming from a loving, supporting family. He has his father, his mother, and he has siblings as well. And side note, when we see some of Neel's siblings, there's a Star Wars Holiday Special reference. Did not expect that in Skeleton Crew. I'm happy for it, and it is awesome. Now back to the regular video. Well, clearly he's the only child, and his mother's no longer in the picture. Sounds like she passed away. So he's missing something in his life though, because his father is very busy with working, therefore is more distant than I think Wyn would like. Fern's mother is also clearly high up in probably the planetary government and all that, and she's clearly rebelling against her mother. Probably is not giving the love and support that she wants from home as well. No idea if there's another parent in the picture. And then of course we have KB. We don't know much about her home life, but we just don't know how that impacts her. But hey, maybe that's something we'll learn later on as well. She's definitely the character that we get the least insight to in this first episode of our main kid characters. And then of course there's also the adventure that they go on, because, well, on the way to school for the standardized test, Wyn gets lost because he oversleeps, misses his tram, and so he tries to take a shortcut, and then he discovers something. He thinks it's the Jedi Temple. His father doesn't believe him, because his father is like, you missed your test. You're lucky that you get another chance, but you have to get. But I was able to only get it so that way you have to get every question right in order to even pass. So yeah, not very supportive. Doesn't listen, because like, he was late to school. Why was he late to school? That's the important thing to understand. Like he says, I found something in the woods. I missed it. I overstepped. I took a shortcut through the woods and I found something, and I got caught in a ravine. He could have said something like that, but he didn't. But again, he's a kid. He's looking for adventure and all that. So it makes sense. An adult might have been smarter, but this is a kid, and especially a kid who, in the episode, the other kids call him immature. And yeah, maybe he is a little immature, but there's nothing wrong with him wanting to help others. But maybe obsession with, wanting to be a Jedi. He says he doesn't, but I bet he does. Might be, it's definitely a thing impacting his choices, even subconsciously, but he could grow up a little bit, learn to take a little more responsibility, and then maybe he will have better time explaining what actually happened rather than being dismissed out of hand by his father and the proctor. Not called principal, or it could be the proctor because the proctor is administering the test that he missed. Could go either way. So there's that going on as well. And they find, then eventually all four of our main characters converge, and yeah, they'll know some classic middle school behavior. That classic middle school behavior of boys versus girls and all that, and each other thinking the others are dumb, that kind of stuff. Anyhow, they get inside wherever Wyn found, and well, Wyn's still thinking it's a Jedi temple. It's not. It's a ship. It's, as we go more, it figure out a ship, and it's also upside down as well. And there's a droid on board, but they accidentally get locked in. They do chase a power conduit, and they reactivate the ship, and they do try to get out, but Wyn presses a button. He says he didn't, but he presses a button, and somehow that started the ship leaving on autopilot, leaving the plane. And Wyn's father does see this, so at least one adult knows what has happened. Hopefully, everyone else listens to Wyn's father. So they leave the planet, and the droid also reactivates, so they have not interacted with the droid reactivated yet. And the shot of them going into hyperspace, first, I should say before they even get there, first is what they describe as a barrier around the planet. I'm wondering if very few people leave the planet. I wonder if the government of that planet makes people think it's impossible to leave. They go through the barrier no problem, but they act like it's going to be devastating, that they're going to get destroyed. I'm thinking there's a government conspiracy that keeps people from leaving the planet, except for a few select people. They obviously know about the Jedi, but do they know about the Empire? Do they know about the New Republic? I kind of get the impression they do, but kind of not. So something's weird going on with the planet. These kids, I don't know about the wider galaxy. Only KB knew that what they were seeing in once they passed through the barrier was stars. Wyn thought it was planets. So clearly they've lived a sheltered existence on the home world, a boring sheltered existence, and sounds like they've never even seen stars in the sky. So something's going on, and clearly they were able to get through that barrier no problem. Something's not up with that. Something's not up. And then they all freak out when the ship goes into hyperspace, because they clearly barely know about space in general, so of course they're not going to know about hyperspace. And that's where the episode ends. But I still need to talk about the cold open, the prologue, which establishes that the Empire is no more, the New Republic reigns, but there's pirates all over the place. And, well, the crazy thing is that it's a great opening. I don't know why I was trying to say crazy, but it is a great opening. We have a freighter that's being attacked by pirates, and the freighter people put up actually a pretty good fight, but there's just way too many pirates and all that, and the pirates take the ship, and then the captain, who I'm pretty sure is Jude Law's character, confronts the freighter captain and is like, open your vault. Basically, he's trying to, apparently, they've not been making good loot lately and all that with some of the other picks, so they're hoping that this ship in its vault has lots of credits. The captain says they don't have any credits. There's one credit. One credit. And then the crew turns on the captain, who again I think is I'm pretty sure is a Jude Law's character, and I think the person who's like a Wolfman type thing, who I think is the number 2 guy, I think he's going to take control of the pirates, and then they're going to maroon Jude Law's character somewhere, and he's going to bump into these kids, and they're going to use these kids to somehow get something. I'm not sure. I know some people are speculating that his character might have been Force sensitive or a Jedi. It's possible that he may be Force sensitive, but I'm pretty sure he's the captain character. I could be wrong. I did not pay attention to the credits because I wanted to keep this speculation open. I am going to go watch episode 2 once I finish recording this. So that's pretty much all I have to say, but to summarize, this episode I think did a really good job at introducing us to the world these kids are from, introducing us to the kids. I have a sense of who each kid is and how they're going to play into the group dynamic. We also got some impression on what could be some of the threats that we're going to be facing, as well as hints that everything on the home world is not as it seems. But that's where I'm going to leave you guys, and I want to hear from you. What did you think of this could be a real adventure in the comment section down below? And stay tuned for my review of episode 2, which should be coming out probably by the time you're finished watching this video. This may be way out there, but it's in a galaxy far away. This is going to be my full spoiler review of the second episode of Star Wars Skeleton Crew, that being way past the burial. So this episode picks up where the last episode leaves off. The kids have been to hyperspace and they're lost in space. I really wish they used that line because that would have been so great, but they are effectively lost in space, and the droid on board SM, he does not recognize the name of their planet. And he takes them to a port, a very seedy port, because as we learn later on, he thinks they're all pirates. And they get into trouble on that planet. And nobody has ever heard of their planet, or they think it's a myth. They're going to try to find directions, of course, and only one person seems to be of any interest of helping them, because there are a bunch of kids at a pirate port, and that definitely being the lady who's working at a establishment. Probably because she doesn't want to see them thrown into, the life that she has found herself in. That's my guess. And she doesn't believe them when they say that. Probably thinking, they're kids, they're just choosing a fake planet name. Or why would they're kids, they're choosing that legend planet. The thing is some of those pirates, once they start seeing the credits and that Wen has on hand, they start thinking maybe this planet is real and its treasures are real as well. And we got a good look at the credits this time, unlike in the last episode, and it's the Old Republic insignia, not New Republic, Old Republic. So that is definitely something. This planet has been cut off and all that. Anyhow, they go through eventually, they get in trouble and all that. The droid does try to save them, but the captain the new captain who runs this everything has clearly he's damaged SM, and SM would have been the only person who actually had information, because these kids don't know anything. The pirates are not saying it's true, of course, but they're wondering things now. They're definitely wondering. They're thrown in the break where they meet Jude Law's character. I know that's at the end of the episode, but most of the episode is them exploring the strange world, getting familiar, not familiar per se, but learning that things are not at all like it is back home for them. They're learning about this wider galaxy, and it's not going to be a perfectly safe place. Fern and KB have met one person who seems to be semi-trustworthy. Again, clearly she's not in the best line of work. She probably has to be very careful, but she definitely seems like she cares about them from what she knows, and she doesn't want them to get wrapped up in anything or harmed or anything. Likely, she probably maybe sees a little bit of her younger self and doesn't want these kids to accidentally get wrapped up with pirates and not be able to live a safe life. Very possible. We don't know. We'll probably never see her again. But it's just something I kind of want to point out that random strangers with a little bit of act of kindness in a sea of people without any act of kindness. And like I said, in the brig they meet Jude Law's character, I'm pretty sure is the captain from the prologue of the first episode. And he's probably lying about how long he's been in the brig, but he is a Force user, and he uses that to get the key to get them out on the one condition that they take him to their planet. So either he's given up the life of piracy and he just wants to get away from it all. Possible. 2, he could actually be a Jedi, like when infers from him using the Force. He's probably not a Jedi, but he is a Force user. And he wants to get someplace safe because he's being hunted, though with New Republic around, he wouldn't be hunted at least by the galactic government, but the pirates might still be hunting him because, they turned on him, they mutinied. Or maybe, it's a long con by the pirates because they are trying to find this planet and he's going to lead the pirates there and they're going to pillage it. All are equally possible, equally likely. Now, what do I think is going on? That's going to be another video. I'm going to have a video, maybe after next week's episode when we learn more about Jude Law's character. Hopefully nothing gets revealed, talking about who I think he actually is. But in brief, I don't think he's a Jedi. If anything, he's a Jedi who's totally abandoned the Force, the Jedi order and principle has become a pirate. But that's the best possibility for him being a Jedi. But at the very least, he's a Force user. He was the captain, but he's no longer the pirate captain, and now he's trying to, run away. I'm almost wondering, could we get some maybe Treasure Island vibes. So Treasure Planet is a really good adaptation. But I do wonder if there might be any inspiration from Treasure Island thrown in at all. It's a possibility. I don't know. But like I said, it's a really good episode. I do think I liked episode 1 a bit better than this episode. I think that's just because the previous episode felt way much more like what a lot of the inspiration I feel like they took for this series. Obviously, there's a lot more inspiration, but especially the inspiration, the marketing was more heavily prevalent in episode 1. Here it feels like we're getting more inspiration from pirates and all that. Different genres, definitely. But hey, it's working. I just need to see more of it and how they expand and explore it all. Because, again, lots of very interesting stuff, and I want to see more. I love seeing all the weird aliens. We really didn't get that in Andor, and this is really good, and we're getting these weird aliens. You can definitely tell they're using a lot of practical effects. They're probably definitely and CGI. I could tell there's some instances where practical CGI. They definitely had that going on. It was really interesting, and it's interesting to see what comes of. Are the kids going to get home? Which I think is yes. But now pirates are aware the home planet might be real and not a pirate legend. So that is going to be really interesting. So the planet, I'm thinking that treasure is real, and the planet has artificially ages ago created that barrier to protect themselves from pirates. It can let people out, but not let people in is my guess. That's probably why that ship crashed that the kids found. That's my theory. Again, I'll be making hopefully a whole video on some of the speculation stuff. But as of right now, I think it's really interesting. Lots of interesting threads in there that I can't wait to see how they'll explode and tugged on. The character development that different characters are going to go through. And just the overall adventure. I really can't wait to see how this all unfolds. But in the meantime, I would love to hear your thoughts on the episode in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching my video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a like and share. Also, consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date on all my latest content. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the Force be with you, always.